voice you are listening to right now is not coming from my body. There's no microphone in front of me, no studio, no late night recording session. The words are mine, every single one of them. But the voice speaking them was made by a machine. And by the end of this episode, I think you'll agree with me on something strange. This might be the most honest thing about this show. Let me start where voices start. I've had to fight for mine twice. The first time, I was 4 years old. A plastic tube went through the roof of my mouth, tore through the soft palate, shredded the back of my throat. A blur of panic, a rush to the hospital, emergency surgery, and then the quiet verdict from the surgeons. This boy may never speak properly again. My gran refused to accept that. Every single day, patiently, word by word, she coached me. Sounds first, then syllables, then sentences. She gave me my voice back one repetition at a time, and in doing so, she accidentally handed me my life's obsession, because when you nearly lose something that everyone else takes for granted, you never stop being curious about what it actually is, what a voice does, how words move people. I've spent 30 years studying exactly that. The second fight is the one I'm in now. If you heard Tuesday's episode, and that was me, my actual lungs, my actual scratchy takes, you know the shape of it. These past years, my body has been renegotiating our contract. There are strong days and there are flare days. And the flare days don't check my publishing calendar first. So at the start of this relaunch, I faced a choice that every one of you will recognize in some form. I could promise you 2 episodes a week and quietly break that promise every time my health had other plans. I could shrink the show down to whatever my worst days allowed, or I could do the thing this entire podcast is about. I could build a system. So I did. And here's exactly how, because I think you deserve the full tour. Over the past month, I trained an artificial voice on about 3 hours of my real one, old episodes, radio ad reads I recorded years ago, carefully chosen recordings where I sounded like myself. Not performing, just talking. The first versions were awful. I mean it. I listened to this thing read my own words back to me, and it was me, with everything that matters removed. The pace never changed, the pitch never lifted, my exact accent, my exact tone, and none of my life. I remember the exact complaint I typed that day. There's no smile in my voice, so we went back. More recordings, better recordings, the ones where you can hear that I mean it. We retrained the whole thing, tuned it, tested it, threw versions away. We even had to teach this machine, built somewhere far from here, how a South African actually says braai. How we say Gauteng. It got there. You just heard it get there. And somewhere in that process, something clicked for me. This isn't a shortcut. It's the same fight as the first one. When I was 4, my gran rebuilt my voice using repetition, patience, and love. At 50-something, I rebuilt it using recordings, engineering, and sheer bloody-mindedness. Different tools, same refusal. Now, before you decide how you feel about all this, let me give you the rules, because there are rules, and they're not negotiable. Rule 1, you will always know. Any episode spoken by the machine says so. Write in the show notes, and when it matters, write out loud like this. There will never be an episode where I hope you don't notice. Today's episode is the machine introducing itself. That's deliberate. I'd rather you hear it from the machine's own mouth on its first full day on the job than discover it later and wonder what else I didn't mention. Rule 2. The voice is synthetic. Nothing it says is. Every script is written by me or built from my thinking, and nothing goes out that I haven't approved. The machine has my sound. It does not have my opinions, and it never gets to make any of its own. If this voice ever tells you something, it's because I decided to tell you. Rule 3. When something needs my actual breath, you get the real thing. Tuesday's comeback episode was me, because coming back needed to be me. When there's something raw to say, something that deserves the cracks in it, I'll be the one saying it. The machine keeps the promise. I keep the soul. That's the arrangement. My podcast voice is AI, and I'd argue it's the most honest voice in podcasting because it told you what it was before you ever had to ask. But here's why this matters beyond one podcast and why I'm telling you all of this in the first episode of The Machine's Working Life. This show is called The Rebuild because that's what it documents. What it actually takes to rebuild a life, a body, a business, when circumstances have other ideas. And I need you to hear the principle underneath what I just described, because it applies to whatever you're facing. Everyone listening to this has something their body, their bank account, or their circumstances keep threatening to take away. The thing you love doing, the promise you made, the work that feels like yours. And we're all taught to respond with willpower. Grit your teeth, push through, try harder. But willpower is a flare day away from failing. It always was. The question that changed everything for me wasn't, how do I push through? It was, what would I build so that the thing I care about keeps happening even when I can't personally carry it that day? For me, that was a voice. For you, it might be a routine your family can run without you, a business that sells while you sleep, a habit designed to survive your worst week, not your best one. Systems are how you keep promises your body can't always keep alone. That's the whole thesis of this show, and you're listening to the proof of it right now. This episode exists on time, on cadence, because on the day it was made, it didn't need me to be strong. It just needed the system to work. So here's my question for you, and I genuinely want your answers. I read everything, and the replies shape where this show goes next. What would you keep doing if your body stopped cooperating? And what would you have to build to keep it? Sit with that one. Then tell me. The contact details are in the show notes, and if you're on the socials this week, I'm asking the same question there. New episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Some will be my lungs. Some will be my machine. You'll always know which is which. That's the deal. And it always will be. Twice in my life, I've had to find my voice. The first time, my gran built it with me. This time, I built it myself. I'm David Watts. The voice was the machine's. The words, every one of them, were mine. Thanks for listening. Ready to rebuild.